I hear all the time Jews arguing there should never be a divided Jerusalem, that we'll give up back much, but we will never give up Jerusalem. We will never let the Temple Mount be in some foreign hands. I hear that all the time.
Listen, when I was at AIPAC in the mid-90s during Oslo with Rabin, that was the mantra of AIPAC.
The least that any Palestinian leader will accept is more than any Jewish leader can give.
Yeah. Does the world understand that, Susie?
That's a very good question. And of course it depends on what we mean by the world. If you turn to the European Union, not at all. And if you ask some of the leaders of the European Union, how would you feel if Israel disappeared or merged into one conglomerate? They'd say that would be great. One, let's not have two states. Let's have one state, and they can all vote. And as someone once said, I think it was quoted in the Jewish Week, that Israel could become the Jewish quarter of Palestine in general. I mean, I don't know if the European Union would have any problem with that.
But you don't think that the European Union understands that the Palestinian position is, in the end, we want it all?
I don't think the European Union cares.
Okay. Jonathan?
The world really doesn't care, especially these countries like I mean, who's the European Union? Who in the Union cares so much? I don't think the average person in Europe cares, or we'll go to war about it.
There's a difference between the Palestinian in the street and certain Palestinian leaders. And hopefully that's the kind of diplomacy we're going to count on. If there is a deal, the world will accept the deal. And Israel will not agree to anything which compromises its core security. But it will have to give up a lot. And by a lot, I mean essentially everything after 1967. There may be some trade-offs in territories, part of the Negev, for a few settlements in the West Bank. But that's the only possible solution.
Israel's not going to give up Ma'ale Adumim.
Well, it may not give up Ma'ale Adumim, but it may exchange certain territories in the Negev for it.
It's going to want to keep Efrat.
Probably.
Okay. And what you're saying is those are minor accommodations.
If it's placed in the context of...
Okay. What you're willing to do in terms of minor accommodations, their mentality is that these are major issues, and therefore, when push comes to shove, maybe it's the Abba Iban line, when push comes to shove, there's going to be no Palestinian ready to do what's necessary to make Israel comfortable enough.
No, these are major issues for the Palestinians. They represent the totality of Israel's conquest of the West Bank. What I'm saying is something different. If, in principle, Israel and the Palestinians agree to the 1967 solution, then those issues can be resolved. Then they're not the core issues anymore.
And are there Palestinians who you think would accept that?
Oh, I'm sure there are Palestinians that would accept that for a solution. Are they the ones that can deliver? That we don't know yet.
Neal?
I keep coming back to what I mentioned before about the acceptance of the status quo, because Elan is undoubtedly correct. The Palestinians will miss another opportunity. And look what happened with Barak and Arafat back in 2000. And the status quo, I think is going to continue because I just don't see a major deal coming through. I think what was said earlier is correct. I think to the extent there is going to be a deal, everybody knows the general parameters of it. It's been around for a long time. The question is whether it would be accepted, and I don't think the intransigence is on the part of the Israelis.